Okay, so as per the latest Cambridge program, as per the latest syllabus, this biology guide, the IGCSE syllabus, is this is used for the syllabus for exams in 2023, 24, and 25. So those who are going to write their exam in these years, this Cambridge IGCSE biology guide is for them, right? And
Hmm.
and the code is 0610. You have to remember your code also always. So let's go in
Hmm.
the syllabus. Some basic things I will discuss with you in the beginning. Like, what are the things? Let me go down. This is the content page. They're talking about what is syllabus, subject content, detail of assessment, right? What else you should know from the syllabus guide. Okay.
Hmm.
So this is why we are doing Cambridge program, because Cambridge program is confined a collaborative approach, which makes the learner confident, responsible, reflective, innovative, engaged, and
Hmm.
confident. So all these learner profiles are there. Then there are some support material is also being provided on this particular website. So I guess there is no student profile, but a teacher can get detailed support from these website related to planning, related to teaching assessments, right? Related to the past papers, you can see here. Past paper learner guide you can take. I mean, teacher can take, not you. So teacher can take and teacher can give it to you for your preparation. Syllabus overview is fine. Content. So this is your syllabus. Candidate study the following topics. Chapter 1, characteristics and classification, organization of organism, movement in and out of the cell, biological molecules, enzymes, plant nutrition, human nutrition, transport in animals, transport in plants, disease and immunity, gas exchange in human, respiration, excretion in human, coordination and response, drug, reproduction, inheritance, variation and selection, organism and their environment, human influences on ecosystem, and biotechnology and genetic modification. This is the overall uh, topics which is going to be covered in the 2 year of IGCSE program. Right.
Hmm.
Next, how the assessment going to be? Generally, Cambridge takes 6 papers: paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, paper 4, paper 5, and paper 6. So the syllabus is divided into two sections: core and extended. Core is the basic. If a student is taking core, they can give paper 1, paper 3, and paper 6. And those who have taken
Hmm.
extended, they can write paper 4 and paper 2, paper 4, and paper 5 or 6, any one. Now, let me go to the
Hmm.
next. These are the weightages, subject content. Okay, so what we are going to study in chapter 1. So in chapter 1, characteristics of living organism, we are going to talk about fundamental properties of living organism. Like they will do movement, they will do respiration, they will respond to the environment, they will do growth, they will reproduce, they will excrete, they will nutrition. These are fundamental processes which is performed by the living organism. That we see in the very 1 or 2 line discussion. Concepts which is going to use now is state that organisms can be classified into group, how the group classification has been done. We will talk about classification system, aim to reflect evolutionary relationship. Whenever we try to categorize the animals, Right. In this particular chapter, we will also learn how organisms are interconnected through evolutionary relationship. When they got diverged, what happened, everything. Then we will talk about species. We will also discuss about how the naming system works in the in the taxonomy, binomial system. Like we give name to the organism. So on what basis we are giving the name? So this entire naming system is called nomenclature, which comes under taxonomy. And we are going to discuss about uh, the naming system here. That's called binomial system. Binomial means two. Okay, so this part will come here. Then we will talk about what is the role of DNA in sense of classifying the organism. Then we will talk about group of organisms which shares a common recent ancestors. You will find that a few organisms are genetically 80%, 99%, 98% are similar, but they are totally different. So in this section, we will talk about most recent ancestor by checking the DNA base sequence. We'll see that. Then we'll talk about some features of organisms, like main features used to place animal into plant into appropriate kingdom. On what basis we are putting some organism in plant and animal, right? State the main features used to place organism into groups, animal kingdom. Like what you gonna study here is two group, like vertebrates group and second is arthropod group. Only two we are going to study. In the vertebrate, we will talk about mammals, birds, reptiles, fish, and amphibians. Whereas in arthropods, we'll talk about myriapods, insects, arachnids, and crustaceans. So there are total four arthropod and five vertebrates we are going to discuss. Now this is the core section. You can see here they are mentioned on the top core. In the supplement, what extra you have to study? Those who have taken extended, they have to study five kingdom classification: animal, plant, fungus, prokaryotes, and protista. Then we will talk about main features of plant kingdom. But in the plant kingdom, it is very confined to two types. Flowering plants we are going to study. Flowering plants are categorized into two types, dicot and monocot. In this section, we will see how to identify dicot and monocot plants. Your question will be based on identifying these. Next, here also in core section, classify organism using features identified. Means you have to see the features in the organism and then you have to identify. In the same way here also, plants, animals, insects, everything will be identified by using images given in the question. Next is state the features of virus. We'll talk about the virus. Limited to the protein code and the genetic material. Fine. So this is about your chapter 1, which we are going to study. Okay. Okay. So this first unit, we will talk about uh, the basics, what living organisms show the characters. Okay. So let's move. So what are the 7 basic character on which you can identify, you can distinguish living organisms from the non-living organisms are nutrition, excretion, respiration, sensitivity, reproduction, growth, and movement. On these 7 distinguishable character in the living system makes it different from non-living. If you will try to um, find a living organism, you will find that all these 7 character is being shown by the animal. Fine. So now we will talk about what is N: nutrition, excretion, respiration, sensitivity, reproduction, growth, and movement. Okay, so let's begin. So these are the 7 characters.
Hmm.
If you want, you can write all the 7 character at one place so that it will be in your notebook
Okay.
for understanding. Okay, fine. Next, so now we will start with the first nutrition. So what is nutrition? Nutrition is a process of taking food in, and then the food is being converted into ATP, and that ATP is being used up in the cells, right? That's
Hmm.
called nutrition. So in
Should
your
we write?
yeah, you can write. I guess this is a basic thing, so I guess you all know it. So wherever I will feel that you should write, you should take a note. You must. Okay. I will send you this PPT. Okay, so that you can cross check.
Then I will write using the PPT when you said.
So what I will do, maybe few things I will teach you with the PPT. Few things I will teach with a digital pen and pad. Okay, because these are normal things. So this will go on slide. All the 7 properties. Okay.
Hmm.
Fine. So nutrition is of 2 types: autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic means which is being produced by plant using solar energy. Heterotrophic nutrition means it is animal is feeding
Hmm.
another animal or plants. That's called heterotrophic mode of nutrition. That means they are not doing photosynthesis. Okay.
Hmm.
And nutrition is required for everything, for cellular work, for movement, for respiration. So the entire work of the body is being done by the nutrition, because nutrition provides energy to the body, and that energy is being used up in the cells. Okay, let's move to the next. Next is excretion. Means when a cell is using something, like suppose you are eating carbohydrate. So you know what is the waste product of carbohydrate? When you
Hmm.
are when you are eating carbohydrate, what is the waste product of the cell? CO2. Okay, carbon dioxide is
Oh,
the waste product. When cell is using protein, what is the waste product?
and
Ammonia,
this using.
urea.
Hmm.
Urea is the waste product, right? Urea, uric acid. Hope you all know these few toxic
Yes.
waste substance present in your body. And fat, again CO2. So CO2, urea, excess salt, ammonia, uric acid, these are the waste substance. These waste substance must be removed from the cell on a regular basis, because excess accumulation of these waste in your cells will cause problem, right?
Hmm.
So the
Yeah.
process in which all these cellular wastes are removed from the cell, it's called excretion. Egestion is not excretion. You know what is egestion?
Hmm.
Removal of undigested
One.
food from the body, right? So when I'm saying removal of undigested food, that means these undigested food is not being taken by cells yet. They are removed by the process of digestion, right?
Hmm.
So the cells have yet not
Yeah.
taken any of these things. Once the food get digested, the
Hmm.
digested food goes into the cells, and then cells will use it for their work. So that's the difference. Okay, next, respiration. Respiration is a process in which the glucose molecule, the carbohydrate, protein, fats, whatever is present in your body, it get combines with oxygen, right? And we will get CO2, water, and energy. So the last reaction which you can see here, this one, glucose plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide, water plus ATP. So that carbon dioxide which is produced here is removed out from the body by the process of breathing, right?
Mm.
This is respiration. Next is sensitivity. We always sense something, or your body have a ability to detect any change in the external and the internal environment of the body. That's why you give response, like when there is a sudden hot, what you do, body needs water, so you are responding, you are drinking more water, right? Like
Mm.
sunflower turns towards the sun, that's called responding. Touch me not plant, if you will touch it, they will sense the
Yeah.
external stimulus and the leaf will get shrinked. It's not shrinked, it will get folded, you can say, right? Next, reproduction process which makes same kind of organism. You can see here the male and the female gametes are fused and embryo is produced, and that embryo will further divide to make a small baby, right?
Mm.
And reproduction is the fundamental process of all the living organisms. In the same way, a small cell is also divided. You can see here, this is the E cells. These cells are getting elongated and then they get segregated. After that, this whole bunch of cells will get separated and they will behave like an individual organism.
Mm.
Growth is an irreversible change, an irreversible permanent change in the size and the dry
Mm.
mass of the body of all the living organisms. When we say growth, it means either cell size will increase or cell number will increase, or sometime both. When you were small, some of the cells size were small and the cell number were also less. As you grow up, when we say growth, maybe the cell number are going to increase or the cell size is going to increase. And this change or
Mm.
this change is permanent change and it is irreversible process. Irreversible means you can't go back, right? I mean, it's the
Mm.
growth process cannot be reversed. It is a permanent change. Once you have reached a certain height,
Mm.
that height is permanent. Now you can't go back. That comes under growth. Sorry.
Yes.
Next is movement. Movement is an action by which organisms is changing their position or place. So in the movement, we talk about displacement of the body, right? From one place to another place. Whereas in case of locomotion, displacement of a body from one place to another. And in movement is the displacement of a body or a part of the body from its original position, like you are turning. That's called movement. In case of locomotion, body is changing one place to another place.
Mm.
Right, so these are the seven basic characteristics shown by every organism. Right? Okay. Can you answer this? What is respiration?
Releasing energy from organic molecule.
Okay. Next, which characteristics means to take in substances?
Substances.
Take in sub.
Sustenance.
Yeah, substances. Yeah. Actually, it is substance, but okay, no problem. We'll change that spelling. Yeah. You are taking in something. That's called what?
Nutrition.
Nutrition, yeah, nutrition, good. Next. Which characteristics means getting rid of all poisonous wastes?
Excretion.
Excretion, yes. Next. This characteristics means moving from place to place.
Locomotion.
Locomotion. Okay, which word has the same meaning as sensitivity? Same meaning.
Irritability is not like
Irritability.
feeling. No.
You are responding, feeling like you feel something, and maybe you are not feeling that. I mean, you are not telling that feeling to anyone, right? Or generally we don't respond to feelings sometime, right? But the question says, which word has the same meaning as sensitivity? Think.
Mhm.
Tell me what you were thinking.
Analysis.
Okay, no problem. You think on this, okay? We will talk in the next lesson. Next, what does reproduction mean? Producing new organ, producing an offspring, removing used blood cells, or removing dead cells?
Producing an offspring.
Producing an offspring. Okay. Next, the last characteristics is growth, which means change in color, change in size, increase in complexity, none of these.
Increase in size.
What do you mean by increase in complexity?
What does that mean?
Okay, last. What is known as the sum total of all the chemical reaction going in the cell? Which I have not discussed, but let me see whether you know it or not. And I know you know this. Tell me. Total chemical reaction going in the cell is called dash. No idea.
Metabolism.
Metabolism. Yes, yes, correct. That's a metabolism.